If you're working abroad, I bet you've seen this happen. Some people seem to get stuck in the same role, while others just climb the ladder really fast. Well, today we're going to break down the exact blueprint they use to go from a starting role to a real leadership position, and how you can do it too.
I mean, it's a question so many of us have asked, right? You see your colleagues getting those promotions, getting better pay, more responsibility, and you can't help but wonder, what's their secret? Well, here's the thing. It's not a secret, and it is definitely not about luck. And this quote gets right to the heart of it. This is the whole game. See, career growth isn't something that just happens to you. It's something you have to actively build piece by piece with a really clear plan.
Okay, so what is this plan? Let's call it the supervisor's blueprint. We're about to lay out the exact framework for climbing that career ladder, step by step. But hey, before we start building, we've got to know what we're aiming for. And a supervisor, that's way more than just someone who gives orders. It's a position of trust. You become the one who makes sure the team works together, that everyone stays safe, and that the higher-ups know exactly what's going on. That's our target.
Okay, I hear you. That sounds like a ton of responsibility. And you're right, it is. But believe me, the rewards are absolutely huge. Let's dig into exactly why you should be aiming higher.
Of course, there's the bigger paycheck. We all want that. But it's so much more than just the money. You start working with the latest tools, learning skills that are valuable all over the world. Your job stops being just a job and becomes a stable, long-term career. You earn respect. And that international experience, it makes your resume powerful no matter where you go next.
All right, so we've covered the what and the why. Now it's time for the how. And it all comes down to these three pillars of growth. Think of these as the foundation you're going to build your entire career on.
Pillar number one is your bedrock. It's all about your skills. I mean, you can't lead a team if you don't truly, deeply understand the work itself. Employers are always looking for people who are masters of their craft first. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. Yeah, mastering your trade, that's the price of entry. But look at the other things on this list. The real shift happens when you start thinking about safety, about documentation, about the entire project, not just your little piece of it. That is what separates a good worker from a potential supervisor. But look, having all the skills in the world doesn't matter if you can't share them. And that brings us right to our second pillar, communication. Especially in a diverse international workplace, this is an absolute game changer. And this little formula on the screen, it says it all. You don't need perfect textbook English, not at all. But people need to understand you. Can you give clear instructions? Can you explain a problem to your boss? Can you work well with a team from 10 different countries? This simple idea shows the direct line from talking effectively to getting promoted. And that leads us to the final and, arguably the most important pillar. Here's the real secret, if there is one. You don't become a leader when you get the fancy title. You get the title because you are already acting like a leader. It's all about what you do every single day. So the amazing part is you can start doing these things tomorrow. Seriously, are you the person who helps the new guy get up to speed? Do you see something that needs doing and just do it without waiting to be asked? Do you solve a small problem instead of just complaining about it? Trust me, management notices this stuff. This is how you prove you're ready. So you're building your foundation with those three pillars. Awesome. But what if you want to put your foot on the gas a little? Let's talk about a couple of ways to really accelerate your advancement. First up, certifications. In a competitive global job market, these things are like a golden ticket. They're not just pieces of paper. They are undeniable proof to an employer that you are serious, you are skilled, and you are ready for more responsibility. And we're talking about real practical stuff here. Getting a safety certification like OSHA, getting licensed on a forklift or a crane, becoming a certified welder. These aren't just lines on a resume. These are direct paths to a higher salary and solid proof that you're ready to manage others. Now, the second accelerator isn't just about what you do. It's about who you work with. Choosing the right employer or the right recruitment agency can make all the difference. They can either hold you back or they can literally propel you forward. See, a good partner doesn't just find you a job. They help you build a future. They connect you with companies that actually promote from within. They help you get access to the very training and certifications we were just talking about. So don't just pick a job. Pick a partner. It's one of the most strategic moves you can possibly make. Okay, so we've got the blueprint, we've got the pillars, and we know how to accelerate the process. Now it's time for the really big question. Are you ready to lead? Take a good look at this checklist. If you can honestly go through and check these boxes, then you're not just wishing for a promotion, you are genuinely prepared for one. This is exactly what companies are looking for. And hey, if you're not there yet, that's okay. Now you know exactly what you need to focus on. And get this journey, this whole transformation, it doesn't have to take years and years. For workers who consistently show up with the right skills and the right attitude, a promotion is often possible within just 6 to 18 months. Think about that. In less than 2 years, your entire career, your entire life could look completely different. So there you have it. The path from worker to supervisor is not some big mystery. It's a process. It's about skills, it's about communication, and it's about leadership behavior. The blueprint is in your hands now. So the only real question left is, what are you going to build first?